Welcome one and all to another rebuild this fine Saturday afternoon, and with the result of a shocking result actually from Bournemouth beating Liverpool, who had thrashed Man United the week before, it's been decided that we are going to see if we can save them from the drop this season. They're not doing too particularly well, but results have gone their way of late, notably the Liverpool one, as just said. The first main task is to keep them up. You will notice from the screen ahead of you that it is kind of a little bit different. We're using a different skin today. It's the Flut Skin Dark, which can be found on the FM23 website. I'll drop the link down in the description. And also we have updated a face pack. And of course this is found on the sortitoutis.net website. Again, I shall put the link down in the description as well. Just makes it look a little bit more polished and quite a lot colourful as well. So first off, Bournemouth enjoyed probably the best spell during the 2010s, although now enduring a 7-year barren spell, having not won a competition since 2015. They have a history which they can be proud of. They have won the second tier for only the second time in 2015, finishing runners up once. They've won the English third tier. They did win the Papa John's trophy though in 1984 and finishing runners up once as well. So not much trophy wear in that respect. So really 3 trophies overall. So anything will be a bonus, but it is mainly all about survival and establishing themselves mid-table club, if not higher. They have got a wage budget 1.2. They have got no transfer budget, and that's mainly because we have disabled the January window because of the Football Manager update, so that will have all the January transfers in. And as you can see, like I say, the face packs are all there, and it looks very, very nice, I have to say. There has been a few comments suggesting for face packs, and I have gone and got them, and I must admit it does look so much better. Attacking football is what they want to do, which I find bizarre, fighting for survival, but if that's the way they want to play it, I'm quite happy with it. I do like this formation. I do try it out a lot in most of my rebuilds, but we'll see how it goes. So they've got Solanke, Traore, Anthony, Christie, Lerma, Cook, Vina, Kelly, Sensi, Smith and Neto in goal. So let's have a look at the squad, see where we are at. So current ability, the best player we have is on loan, which is Hamed Traore. He's currently injured at the moment, expected to be back in 5 to 7 months. So wow, so we haven't got him then, so that is absolutely pointless. Left winger, he looks pretty decent actually as well, and very nice. Current and potential is very, very high indeed. Neto as well, good goalkeeper, 32 years old. He will at some point need replacing. Jefferson Lerma, 27-year-old, pretty nice. Stats-wise, looks really, really decent. Christie, Lewis Cook, Dominic Solanke. He's only 24 years old. I didn't realise that. I mean, that's a pretty good age. And at 24, finishing 14, I suppose it can go a little bit better than that. I mean, you see how he is in the first season, because we are going to have to play with the players that we have currently got. Philip Billing, 26. It is a very, very young team. Zabani as well, 19 years old, the chap that we were looking at as well. Wow, great potential there as well. Another goalkeeper who looks pretty decent. Perfect understudy to Neto. Tavernier, 23. They have got a very, very good side, I'm not going to lie. It's just baffling how they are struggling, although I suppose there are better teams above them. Quattaro as well, 20 years old, right midfield. I can see why they're going more attacking, I think. Let's have a look at their under 21s. Nothing really to shout about, but again, yeah, apart from this tap, James Hill, I'm guessing he's out on loan. He's at Hearts at the moment. Let's have a look at the under-18s, see what they have to offer. Again, looking very sparse. A diminutive winger in Stanislav Pchinda. Let's have a quick look at him. Yeah, I mean, he's got good balance, pace and acceleration. I mean, he is 16 years old. That's not bad return already. Staffing situation, they are above average on majority of their staff. And, well, not really showing anything on the scouting, so we'll have to get that sorted out as well. Finances, they have got £2 million in the bank. Any debts or loans? 48 million left to be repaid. made up of a gift loan repayable on departure of the chairperson, so that's going to stay in there until he goes, and another club chairperson loan again, so that is being repaid. In fact, he's not charging interest, which is quite nice. So the club vision, they want to grow the club's reputation, spend the original transfer budget. Of course, the first season we're going to have no transfer budget, work within the wage budget, attempt to avoid relegation, that is the plan. Be competitive in the FA Cup and the Carabao. Next season, be established. So next season, they want us already to be established Premiership team. I suppose if we save ourselves, and that should be on the cards. Work towards recording a Premier Division top half finish. So we need to survive and work towards top half finishing and record a top half finish in the final season. Okay, I think it's doable, especially with the side I've seen so far. Formation wise, we're going to go with 2 DMs this season. We're going to have 2 inside forwards, an attacking midfielder, pressing forward, wing backs, ball playing defenders, and Neto in goal. We're going to use Quadraro up on the right hand side. The Portuguese 20-year-old. I mean, he looks really, really good and got some fantastic potential, and I really want to use him and see what happens this season. And also Zabani as well, another 20-year-old, massive potential. Again, I want to see how he copes with the rigours of the Premiership as well. We've got Cook and Lerma in the defensive midfielding role, and obviously Neto in the nets. So with the pre-season over, we did pretty well actually using that formation. I wasn't too sure at first, but after smashing Grays 13-0 and then a 0-0 against, I think that's Swedish side Lugano, the Swiss Super League, a 0-0. I mean, scoring 13 and then to nothing, it's really bizarre to be fair. Slavia Prague we beat 3-1, 5-0 against Vasa. St Mirren we win, and Cartagena as well. We start the Premiership with a win against Forest. We lose against Liverpool 3-1. We draw against West Ham, Brentford and Villa, as well as going out of the Carabao Cup second round, which was very disappointing to say the least. We are lying in 13th position currently. We've only lost the 1 game, which is good. Forest, incidentally, bottom of the table, 5-5. Same with Everton. Wow, Crystal Palace pick up their 1 point against ourselves and Brentford as well, so I feel like we should have won them games, but we are on 6 points currently, and 9 points behind the leaders Liverpool, who are 5 for 5. The season preview has us down in 19th position for relegation this season. I don't think we're going to get there. I think the side is good enough to survive. So without any further ado, let's simulate our first season and see how we get on. Well, we've done more than survive. We've actually managed to get ourselves into 6th spot and in a European spot. I mean, this is absolutely outstanding. Wow, that's totally blown me away, that has. We finish above Chelsea, who finish down in 12th position, which is absolutely insane. Liverpool, who are 5 for 5, remember, right at the start, end up losing 3 games, but have won 31 games and literally ran that away with the league. Man City, quite some way behind them. Arsenal, United, Tottenham. I mean, we do finish a good 6 points behind Spurs, but 3 points ahead of West Ham, who finished in 7th position. I mean, that's outstanding. Haaland finishes the season with the Golden Boot with 46 goals. But Solanke, 28 goals ahead of Isaac as well. Mitrovic, Mo Salah and Rashford. That's crazy. Even though we had a goal difference of +1. So what happened in the league? Well, we know we had an awful lot of draws, and the draws just didn't stop at all. We do lose to Everton, but we draw Man City 0-0, which is a good result at home. We beat Spurs 4-1 and then Newcastle 4-3. We have a very good month, but after beating them 2 teams, we draw with Leeds, Wolves, Brighton and Leicester. I mean, we don't concede many goals, but a win against Palace. We draw with United and beat Chelsea at home. We draw at Old Trafford, actually, I've just realised. We beat Fulham, lose to Arsenal, Man City. I mean, we haven't been conceding many goals, though. We do beat Everton back, though. Liverpool, we lose 5-0 at home, though. It was probably expected, though, to be fair. with them running away with it. But we have a very good month in February with the wins over Forest, Chelsea and Man United. We beat Arsenal as well along the way towards the end of the season. We finished strongly though, but a couple of losses there: Newcastle, Wolves, Leicester. But we beat Arsenal. It's a little bit weird, but I'm really happy with that. The FA Cup, we beat Reading 7-1. Newcastle, we win 3-0, but we bow out to West Ham in the 5th round 3-1. Carabao Cup, we saw that we lost in the 2nd round right at the very beginning. Squad-wise, so Solanke comes away with 33 goals in the end. That's pretty good with Lowe, who's out on loan, I think. He scored 12 goals, so we'll look to have him back. But to be fair, at 28 years old, not very good, I don't think. But even so, he did score 12 goals. But nobody else scored anywhere near. 7 goals for Katara and 7 assists, which isn't too bad. I would like to see them getting a few more crosses in, though. Assist-wise, Stacey, Katara, Kilkenny out on loan. He's got good potential. At 23 years old as well, we have got some young players coming through the ranks, even though they are out on loans, majority of them. But again, stats-wise, it doesn't look that great. Just really the standout Solanke there and the two and Stacey with 11 assists. So for next season, we're in Europe and we've been given a massive £45 million and a massive increase in the wages budget as well. We should be able to solidify our position in the league, I'm thinking. And if we can keep majority of the players and add maybe 1 or 2 in, I think we'll be in good stance finishing round about the same position next season. And who knows, we could go slightly higher. We say goodbye to a few players. Jamal Lowe goes to Forest for £7.5 million. Ryan Christie goes to Everton for 5.75. Fredericks goes to Celtic for a 2.2 in the end. Also lose Emiliano Marcondes to Copenhagen for 1.1. We also lose Randolph as well, the 36-year-old, going for £34,000 to Stoke. Now, with the loss of these players, some aging players and players that really are not going to get much game time, so we decided to let them go and bring in some replacements. We bring in Monchu from Valladolid, nicely rounded player in the midfield, DM as well, for £8.75 million. We spend £23 million on Kang-in Lee from Mallorca. We needed a cam player and we decided to bring one in. Hamed Troyer was on virtually the whole of last season out injured, but he comes in for £26 million for the transfer that was already done and dusted from Sassuolo. And finally, Nico Williams for £33.5 million right back from Nottingham Forest. This is how we're going to run with this season. The DLP is going to move up a little bit. I was conscious we're getting a lot of draws last season, which kind of hampered our position in the end, although it was a pretty good position high up in the table. However, we've decided to push one of the DMs up into midfield to help out Lee, but we've got Traore on that left hand side, who looks absolutely stunning, by the way, and he's going to be playing alongside Lee, Tavernier and Solanke. Nico Williams comes in on the right hand side. The midfield with Monchu and Lewis Cook, they're going to fight it out between the pair of them, and Zabrani in there in the centre of defence, and Nito, of course, in goal, which, of course, we will have to replace at some point. Pre-season, we've got it down to a T. Still drawing in the league. We've just got the one win against Fulham, a 4-0 battering away from home. But, yeah, draws against Tottenham, Blackburn and West Ham, which these games we do need to win. But in the Europa Conference League qualifying, we do beat MRT 6-1. Which puts us into the Conference League. It does leave us 9th in the table, unbeaten, 3 draws, 1 win. We have drawn Ladkos, GAT, Lugano and Maribor. I'm expecting us to get out of that group though, to be fair. And we've drawn, if we beat Wimbledon, Aston Villa in the next round of the Carabao Cup. And the season preview, we're not in the bottom, at least anyway. We have moved into 15th position, media prediction, 300 to 1 to win the league. Now that will be something if we did. At 300 to 1, I'd take them odds. But Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, the usual suspects right up at the very top. So let's get on with season 2 and let's see if we can expand on last season and see how we do in Europe. We defied the media prediction once again. We finished in 8th position, another top 10 finish, and once more we finish in a European spot. It could have been so much more, having not won a game in the last 5. In fact, losing the last 4 games straight. There is 12 points on offer there. If we had won them, we could have seen us in 5th, challenging for 5th spot, in fact. We do concede 54 goals and we score 62, which is slightly better than last season. A better goal difference as well, but as you can see, 17 draws. That is an awful lot. It's something we are going to have to look at and possibly rectify with this formation, I'm wondering. But Solanke, he does win the Golden Boot ahead of Rashford. Barbosa of Man United. A pair of them actually scoring for United there. So where did United finish? Okay, with a plus 65 goal difference. In fact, just out of interest, they did score 100 goals, but Solanke, the Golden Boot winner, with 36 goals. Haaland early managing 25 this time round. Form then, we lose our first game 1-0 away at Old Trafford, but we do remain unbeaten right up until that point, which is not too bad with the draw against Arsenal, beating Leeds, drawing with Villa. Yeah, we've drawn 5 games in the first 7. I mean, that's an awful lot of draws. We beat Liverpool away from home as well, 2-0. Man City we draw, we lose to Newcastle, lose to Wolves and Everton. Then we beat Chelsea, Norwich and then Sheffield United. Wow, we do have a good run though, with a lot of wins there. We do draw with United though, 3-3 in the home game. But we lose to Chelsea away, draw with Tottenham. Yeah, the losses, West Ham, Fulham, Leeds and Arsenal. Close games, but I feel, in fact, we didn't win a game for 9 games. 9 games without a win. That's not great. We do draw with City, lose to Liverpool, draw with Newcastle, but yeah, them losses kind of hurt quite a lot, I think. The FA Cup, we don't get past the 4th round. It gets taken to a replay against Arsenal after a 1-1 draw at home, away from home, in fact. But yeah, a 3-1 loss at home though. Carabao Cup, we get past Wimbledon, we get past Villa, but we don't get past Man U, who beat us 4-1 with Rashford, Van der Beek, Martial scoring 2 late goals as well from Martial to make it more respectable for them, but not for ourselves though. After getting past the qualifying stage in the Europa Conference, we do finish top in the league phase. 17 goals scored, 3 against. We beat the teams relatively comfortable. Just that one game, which was 2-1 against Lodos, which was a little bit uncomfortable, I'm guessing. But 6 for 6, can't complain. The last round of 16, we get past Cluj, 7-0 on aggregate, and then we lose to Atalanta, 3-0 loss at home and a 3-1 loss away from home. Solanke getting our only goal. Disappointing, I'm not going to lie. I expect us to go a little bit further than that. Just out of interest, who won in the end? It was Atalanta. Atalanta go on and win it. So goals-wise, Solanke, what can I say? 58 goals in 56 games. Wow. With 6 assists. Tavernier, he did really well on that right-hand side. 15 goals, 13 assists. Really well done to him. And then Kang-in Lee with his first season in the cam role as well. 8 and 11. That's pretty decent. I don't think really we need to change anything up top because they are relatively young and they're doing really, really well. Assist-wise, Traore with 14 assists, 13 for Taverna and 11 each for Kang-in Lee and Monchu as well in his first season. 41 games being played. Nico Williams, 7 assists. That's not too bad at all. But assists coming through the whole team though. Neto in goal. How did he fare? 73 conceded though. 54 in the league. Yeah, he did concede quite a fair bit though. But to be fair, it was mainly in the league that he did concede less than last season though. But 1 clean sheet less. So, finances, what are they giving us? They are giving us another £50 million. That's going to go a long way as well. Maybe we need to invest. Well, attacking wise, I don't think we need to worry about it. Maybe we need to be more aggressive this time round and instead of using a DM, maybe we look to another defender, possibly a goalkeeper this time. But I think We do need to cut out the draws, though, to be fair. We bring in a goalkeeper as promised. He was our third choice goalkeeper that we were after. We were after a couple of others, but one went to Brentford, which I find very, very upsetting considering where we finished in the last couple of seasons. And it was from Italy, he's from Sassuolo as well. So very disappointed to lose him. There was another one as well, which I think he wanted so much money, it was just ridiculous. And then Turati, we bring in Stefano. I think we picked up their second goalkeeper, actually. I think it may have been the second choice goalkeeper at Sassuolo. But I just saw £10 million from Sassuolo. I think he was a second choice goalkeeper. So they had two really good ones. We tried to get the first teamer. He just didn't want to come. He went to Brentford, surprisingly. And Sassuolo have lost both their goalkeepers now, which is really, really strange. Why they wanted to do that, I've got no idea, but we'll take one of them. He looks very good as well, 22 years old. I think he'll be a good stead for the future. And next we bring in Argentina Gaston Villa, centre-back, £35 million from Antwerp. 22 years old, 6 foot as well, and stats-wise looks very, very nice as well. So overall, we spent £45 million. Neto goes to Rangers for £2.4 million, and Kiefer Moore goes to Preston. He's on loan for a fee of £48,000. Pre-season hasn't gone too bad, and then our first 3 games in the league we've lost. But we have had to play the Europa Conference League qualifying rounds in between time, which we've won them. 4-0 against AEK and 2-0, 6-0 in aggregate. Then we played Sepsi and win that 6-1 in aggregate. And in between that, we through to the next round of the Carabao Cup as well, after beating Notts County 4-1. It does leave us precariously near the bottom of the table without any points, and it's a strange situation to be, but we are 2 games behind everybody else because of the European football. We're into the group stage of the Conference League, of whom we will be playing. Let's have a look. Bodo Glimt, Krevna, Zvezda, CSKA Sofia, Servette, Maribor, Glentoran. I think that's it. I think 6 games. We've drawn Liverpool in the next round of the Carabao Cup, so that's going to be great scenes as well, isn't it? And the season preview has us climbing a little bit higher, up to 14th spot, for 250 to 1 now to win the league, which is fantastic. So let's see if we can defy the odds once more, finish in the top 10 and get further in Europe. Fingers crossed. Well, I think this time the media prediction got it right. But if you notice, it looks like we have qualified for the Europa League. Now, that can only mean one thing, which means we may have won the Conference League. But we'll get to that in just a second. But 18 losses this time. It is a disaster of a season Premiership-wise. We're finishing the bottom half. Not really where we want to be. 6th and 8th place finishes in the last couple of seasons. And this season, well, we have a better finish to the season, but we do finish, well, a lot lower than I expected, at least anyway. Solanke, 19 goals. It just goes to show we are reliant on his goal-scoring abilities each season. So, league form, wow. 7 games loss on the bounce. 8 in 9. 9 in 10. 11 games. Wow. That's awful. That is a ridiculous amount of games losing streak. That is a 5-2 loss to Leeds there. More notable. 5-1 to United as well. Man City will lose 2-0. Wow, it's been a disaster of a season, actually, by looks of things. Not an awful lot of greens in there. 4-1 loss to Liverpool. A few draws. We do draw with United later on. Middlesbrough beat West Ham. A 5-1 loss to Liverpool. There's a couple of big scores here. The FA Cup, we just can't seem to progress in that at all. We do beat QPR after a replay. And then we lose to Norwich 2-0 in the 4th round. Carabao Cup, we do lose to Liverpool. We go out on penalties, in fact. In the end, it was Avila, our defender, who got the equaliser in the 73rd minute. Europa Conference League, well, we do finish 6th in the end with 4 wins and 2 losses. 31 goals scored. Wow. 7-0 against Glentoran, 9-0 against Maribor, 7-4 against Servette. And Glint as well, 4-2. Massive goals there. CSKA Sofia and Zvezda both scored draws, but 31 goals scored. That's insane amount of goals. In fact, that's probably more than anybody else here. But we do qualify for the next round in that, so that's good progress. So in the round of 16, we do go through and beat Streda 5-1 on the night, 11-2 on aggregate. In the quarterfinals, we play Atletico Bilbao with a 3-3 draw away from home. But we do win 8-4 overall on aggregate. So that takes us through to the semi-finals now. I think this was a quarter-final stage. And in the semi-final, we beat Mainz thanks to a 4-0 victory at home. Anthony Solanke both scoring braces. And the final, we do play Capitoline. I think that is Roma. I do believe it looks like Roma. Wow, big team there, and we win on penalties. Is that 4-2 on penalties after a 2-2 draw? Solanke again netting a brace, but it is Tammy Abraham getting it onto penalties or extra time in the end. But wow, we come away with the victory, folks. We win the Conference League, which of course puts us into the Europa League for next season. So looking at all the scores, we did pretty well in Europe. We spanked quite a lot of teams along the way. But of all the games, we only lost to one, and that was away at Mainz. We've got a trophy. We have another trophy in the cabinet, so we can forgive ourselves for finishing 14th in the league because we've won the European Cup. We're champions of Europe, so to speak. So goals, Solanke does it again. 58 goals from 50 this season. 13 for Kangin Lee, who's picked up an injury. 12 for David Brooks, so he must have played on the right-hand side possibly. 8 for Quattara as well. 7 for Traore. So a lot more goals being scored. And assist-wise, Monchu, wow, 19 assists. 16 for Tavernier as well. 12 for Brooks. 10 for Kenan Lee. Neko Williams with 10. And Quattara again with 10. So assist-wise, it has been rather fantastic, I think. A lot better showing amongst the whole team, which is what we want to see. But our new goalkeeper, Tarati, 100 goals in 59. Okay, so next season, what have we got? So we've been given another £50 million to play with. Money's coming into the bank, so there's £40 million in there now, but £50 million to spend. A little bit on the wages, £100,000 a week on wages. Once again, we'll start with the outs. We lose Senesi to Villarreal for £16 million. £3.2 million Real Hispanos pay for Billings. Dembele goes to Middlesbrough for 1.1. And Rothwell goes to Sheffield United for just under £1 million. And Kiefer Moore, he's gone on a free. And a couple of other players going out on loan. So with the money, we bring in João Victor. Defender purely as backup, really. £17 million though it's cost us from SEP in Brazil. Quite expensive for a backup, but there was nobody around, and really he was probably the best of the rest that was available. But I'd say 95% of our budget went on Moses Caicedo from Brighton. £60 million to come into the midfield. We needed somebody strong, somebody experienced, and somebody damn good, and he was available. He wanted to come, and we said yes, please. He just looks absolutely amazing, and hopefully we can bring somebody else in. But at the moment, he's going to be playing alongside Moncho in the midfield. Pre-season went superbly, absolutely fantastic. Only conceding 2 goals, and that was in one game against Excelsior. But we went to Holland for the friendlies. We did beat Club Brugge in our first one though, but Feyenoord, Excelsior, Den Haag, and Ajax all get put to the sword. Then we start our league campaign, which is slightly better than last season, it has to be said. We draw 3-3 with Aston Villa. We did go 3-2 up towards the end, and it was an 89th minute equaliser from Alberto for Villa to share the points. We beat Brentford and Blackburn 2-0 apiece, and then we lose 2-0 to Arsenal with 2 goals coming inside the first 15 minutes, which was very, very disappointing. But the Europa League, let's have a quick look. Is it taking the? It's taken the familiar format of a 36 game league. You play 8 games, I think it is. You've got to finish in the top 24 in order to qualify for the next round. So in that we play Basel, Lazio, Getafe, Sturm Graz, Celtic, Sporting, Lyon and AIK. We are lying 7th in the table, so that's a lot better than where we were last season, down at the bottom without a win or a draw. But just the one loss so far, 7 points, 5 points behind the leaders Liverpool, who are again 4 for 4. And this time Newcastle are up there 4 for 4 as well. There's the table for the Europa League, all the teams that are in there. If you like to pause it, have a look. We play Man City in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Somehow we're not destined to get any further in this competition because we just keep coming up against the top teams. And the preview for this season sees us climb into the mid-table. 11th is our media prediction. 100 to 1 now to win. We're getting up amongst them teams now. We're averaging mid-table finish. I'd like to finish in the top 10 once again. Be even better if we can pick up another trophy. We got the Europa Conference League last season. Can we go one better and win the Europa League maybe? Let's find out. Well, this seems a lot better, doesn't it? We're in 6th position and we qualify for the Europa League once again. And I think this is our best haul to date. 19 wins, 9 draws and 10 losses. 84 goals scored. That's amazing. 65 conceded though, 19 goal difference, but 66 points, which I think so far it's our most points as well. Liverpool win the league convincingly, actually. Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Everton are there in 6th position. United are 7th, Arsenal 8th, Tottenham 10th. Solanke finishes with 30 goals. He finishes 3rd in the Golden Boot chase with Calvert-Lewin of Everton getting 37 goals. Rashford behind him. Haaland only on 27, mind. League form, how did we do? That loss to Arsenal was the last game we played, and then we jumped straight into beating Leeds 5-2. Wow. We do lose 6-1 to Man United at Old Trafford though, which is just totally takes that win away though. But again, a couple of draws all of November in fact. But that was Chelsea, Man City, Leicester, a 4-4 draw there, and a 1-1 with Brighton. 5-0 win over Norwich, which is nice to see. Lots of wins in here. Forest Hall, Newcastle, West Ham. Nothing massively big, apart from that 5-2 win over Leeds. 5-0 over Leicester, though. That's good as well. We do lose 4-0 to Chelsea, though. And then our run in, Arsenal, United, and Leeds as well, which we lose. But overall, it's not bad. It's an improvement on the previous seasons, though, that's for sure. FA Cup, we get far as the 4th round, losing to a replay to West Ham at home after pegging West Ham back. Zuma scores in on the half hour, so we do go out. So that's unfortunate. How did we do in the... Oh, we did take a 94th minute equaliser to force a replay, though, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, not very far in the FA Cup once more. The Carabao, yeah, as figured, we didn't get very far. We do lose out to Man City despite taking the lead. We do, however, in the Europa League, qualify for the next round in 5th position. That is pretty outstanding. We lose our first and only game to Lazio 2-1. We draw with Celtic, but we beat AIK, Lyon, Sporting, Sturm Graz, Getafe and Basel as well. That's not bad. 22 goals scored though in there. Nice. But it doesn't last long. We go out to Villarreal in the next round, the round of 16. We draw 1-1 away and then we lose at home, which is one surprising and disappointing at the same time. But it is Porto that win it in the end against Arsenal 1-0. So Solanke, top scores once again. 45 goals this time, 2 assists. But 13 for Traore, 13 for Quattara as well. He gets some game time as well, but not much more else. But a lot more players getting involved. 9 for Brooks, Tavernier comes on with the 8. Assist-wise, 13 for Tavernier and Traore are 2 wingers, which you would expect. And assists almost throughout the whole team. That's really, really good. And once more, for the final season, we have been given another £50 million to spend. First class defender possibly, maybe another midfielder, unless we go for another goalkeeper. But I'm relatively happy with Tarati. We just need to stop him conceding goals. Once more, we start off with the outs and we lose Jefferson Lerma, the midfielder. He goes to Leeds for 8.25 million and Gavin Kilkenny for 2.2. Kilkenny wasn't getting very much game time, so we decided to let him go, and Lerma, our midfielder, was just a little bit too packed out, so we did have to let one of them go, and unfortunately Lerma drew the short straw. I didn't realise this at the end of last season. We lost our main defender. It was Gaston Avila, our Argentinian. He's gone to Napoli, £48.5 million. That was back in February, so I missed that transfer. So that's probably why we conceded a few more goals and had a disappointing back end to the season by losing our main defender. So very, very disappointed. They obviously met his release clause. But in his stead, we bring in Strahina Pavlovic from Juventus for £25 million. He looks really good, actually. Him and Avila would have done quite good stuff together, I feel. I'm disappointed the other one's gone. We bring in a left back, Kevin Gomez from Manchester City for £16.75 million. Not bad for a 21-year-old. And finally, with what little money we had left, we bring James Garner in from Uthrai for £6.75 million, just to make shortfall of that midfield with Lerma going. But I'm very, very happy that we managed to bring in a 25-year-old in, and he looks pretty set and looks pretty good as well. So that midfield is going to be very, very competitive now. Our pre-season, however, went without a hitch, winning all of them until we started the Premiership. We lose to Fulham at 3-2. We beat Leicester 3-2. We draw with Tottenham and Brentford. And then we lose to Chelsea 2-0. So not a great start, but at least I don't think we are bottom. I think we're 13th, mid-table at the moment. The Europa League, we have drawn Juventus, Rangers, Fiorentina, Stuttgart, Legia, I think that's Legia Warsaw, Atletico Bilbao, Fenerbahce, and Nipro as well. Like I say, 13th in the table, that 1 win, 2 losses. The Europa League, I would like to think that we should qualify in the top 24. We've drawn Brentford at home in the Carabao Cup, so hopefully we should at least get past that round. And the preview sees us back up to 200 to 1. I think we were 100 to 1 last season. But 11th prediction, we defied the odds last season by getting 6th spot. Can we do it again and have a bit and have some success in the domestic cups this season? Let's find out. Well, we come to the end of a 5-year potential rebuild, and it's not gone incredibly how I would have loved it to be. After a very, very good finish last season in 6th position and a European place, we bow out by looks of things. No European football for next season, and we languish in the bottom half of the table, not the top half. However, 3 top 10 finishes, a 13th and a 14th, so it's not our worst finish of the rebuild. We do concede an awful lot of goals. Maybe the formation has to change. The 4-2-3-1 just kind of works now and again, as we've seen. To be fair, we scored 65 goals this time round. I think that's our second highest goal haul in a season, so I've got to be happy with that. Solanke finishes 5th in the race for the Golden Boot on 24 goals. Haaland, I think that's the first time in this rebuild he's got the Golden Boot with 39 goals. Calvert-Lewin, Scamacca, Kuna of Man U, and Haller as well from Fulham. Leeds finished below us. Tottenham do as well, like silver lining and all. So as far as the season form goes, we didn't get off to a very good start. We do beat Brighton 4-1, then lose 4-1. And lose 4-1 to Everton as well, actually. We do beat Man City in there and Villa. So there have been some very, very good results. So a 9-1 battering by Liverpool. Wow. 6-4 loss to Fulham. So there have been goals aplenty. But wow, 9-1. Our defender got sent off, actually. So that probably explains a lot of things. 4-game loss there. 5 in the last 7. I mean, again, 1 win in the last couple of months. Few months even. It's not good, and that's hurt us quite a lot, I feel. 5-1 battering by Newcastle, though. But we draw with Chelsea at the end of the season. The FA Cup, again, we don't get very far. It's another disappointing run in the FA Cup. 4-2 loss to Newcastle. Carabao Cup, we get a bit further. 3-1 loss to Watford at the 4th round after beating Brentford 3-0. The Europa League, however, we do finish in 10th position with 2 losses against Bilbao and Juventus. Quite close games as well, by the looks of things. We draw with Fiorentina, so top teams. Not bad results, but we do beat Dnipro, Fenerbahce, Legia, Stuttgart and Rangers to see us through. Anderlecht in the knockout round, second leg, 3-1, a 6-2 aggregate win overall, so we do progress to the next round. And after a first leg 2-1 victory, we bow out 4-0 in the second leg, 5-2 on aggregate with a whimper, really, to be fair. 13 shots on target to our 3, 31 shots to 13. It is a mauling in itself, but a 4-0 away leg loss, leading to a 5-2 loss overall. So we bow out in the round of 16. Disappointing we didn't get very far, but to play a top team, it's not surprising. And it is actually Man United that go ahead and win it all the way, 3-0 against Juventus. So the squad, goals again coming from Solanke, Traore getting 13 as well, but nothing else from anywhere else really. 9 for Tavernier, Kang and Lee 8, Brooks 5 together with Semenyo, 3 for Casado as well. It didn't have a very, very good season by looks of things, although, yeah, average rating 6 points, 8-7. I mean, that is poor, really poor. I mean, the only person getting, a few people getting 7s, 3 people. I don't think anybody got an overall average, have they? I mean, it is really, really bad. A very, very poor season considering the heights we got to last season. 11 assists for Kang and Lee and Tavernier with 10. Gomez and Solanke having 8 each. But apart from that, it's been a relatively poor season on the back of a really good one. I keep saying it. It is very disappointing. When you look at our side, it is good. We have got a very good side and a pretty young one as well. Maybe that is the problem. Maybe we just need to get another couple of quality players. Maybe the formation is just not right. So we're going to hold it there. Crikey, there's a lot going on in this page, isn't there? Yes, we are going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it. Again, also smash it as well if you like the skin. I kind of like it. There's a lot going on and it's very, very colourful. And with the face packs in here as well, it just makes it a little bit more polished as well. It gives you a face to name, so to speak. But if you did enjoy that, like I say, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments as well if you have any other ideas for any other rebuilds. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.